Where life is.
So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's Socratic Dialogue. So, the topic is business value. So, every organization tries to create its value in the competitive market and then capture the market share through it. So, we have both the teams presenting their perception and pitches on the topic. So, before we start in with the pitches, let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Yashita, and I'm the micro lead of PLS Lab, the coach of Team Perception Builders.
Hi, I'm Ananya Agrawal and I am a team member of Perception Builders.
Hi, I'm Vajra Kalekar and today I'm representing Team Perception Builders.
Hi, I'm Karthikeya. I am part of Team Growth Architects today.
Hi, I'm Maryada. I'm part of Team Growth Architects.
Hi, I am Shuchanda. I am also a part of Team Growth Architect.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ananya. I am the coach for the team Growth Architect.
Good evening. I am Roshni Chawla. I'll be moderator for this week's session.
Good evening. I am Vamshi and I will be co-moderator for this week. To begin with, which team would like to go first?
We will like to go first.
All right, perception builders. Could you begin with before you pitch? Can you share with us why you choose this name and give a short summary of what you will be presenting?
Yeah, so we choose our name Perception Builders because value is all about how people perceive your product. It's about shaping branding, delivery, and culture. Those are the things that truly create value. And the summary of our pitches, business is not just any fixed value, it is created, delivered, and captured. It starts with meeting a need, but great businesses go further, like Tesla, which sells sustainability, not just cars. So, for building the trust and the delivery, like Amazon's on time promise or a cold coke, value is captured when customers pay for meaning, not just product. So, setting the inquiry, value creation starts with a basic need. But great businesses like Tesla take it further. They sell identity, not just cars. After that, delivery is key. Think Amazon on time service or a cold coke on a hot day. Delivery is what builds trust. Finally, value capture happens when a business acumen turns meaning into profit, like Apple selling the identity over products. Moving forward, now delivery is crucial. It's not just about creating value, it's about consistently delivering it. Imagine a great meal delivered late. It ruins the experience. When businesses deliver reliably, like a cold coke or Amazon's on-time service, they build trust, and the trust leads to loyalty. Over to you, Ananya.
So, as we already know, that value creation starts with fulfilling a basic need, a very basic need like water to quench thirst. But when will it move forward? When businesses start adding convenience and systems like watermelon being sold in pre-cut slices. And these conveniences and systems then transform that business into a brand and identity. So it begins with need and grows through conveniences and systems. Moving forward. So creation will have no impact unless the value is being delivered effectively. So delivery will add trust. Now a delivery which is not reliable or late food, crashing laptops, crashing systems, failing logistics, all of it will lead to losing of trust. So empathy and consistency turn delivery into trust and habit and then repeat loops. Moving forward. Now, creating and delivering value will still leave us with one challenge, that is, how are we going to capture that value? So, businesses capture value when customers are they willingly want to pay more. They want the product that you are making. So, for instance, a 30 rupee coffee, which is sold for rupees 300 at Starbucks. Why? Because of the experience, the ambience, the luxury that they are providing. So, uh, that's because, value capture is not only about profit, it's about embedding the brand into the culture and loyalty so that the customers keep returning again and again. So, this is how value creation, delivery, and capture works. Over to you, Yashita.
So when we talk about the context of value, it depends on the culture as well as the area you are living in. For instance, like in vegan towns, diet is preferred over meat-based diets because people prefer vegan food rather than meat-based foods. So it depends on the culture. Similarly, product matter less than traditions. Like if a particular place has a particular tradition of not eating non-vegetarian foods like meat-based diets. So the products will not matter as much as the customs, right? So that is all about context of value. And to conclude everything, business value is basically need, experience, and culture. Need, as in what are the tastes and preferences of the customer that we are targeting. Experience, what is the experience we are able to provide them, be it social experience or a premium product. And culture, as in what is the preferences of the people in that particular area, and is the tradition and the culture presenting the need or not. Thank you so much.
Gentle reminder to not to read while you present. You can self-articulate your thoughts. And also the pitch time is only 3 minutes. Thank you, team perception builders, over the team growth architects for their questions. Who would like to go first with their questions?
Okay, so I have one question. Like as you said, there are like if a specific space had vegan people, then their vegan restaurant will work. But there are some places, right? If you are seeing like any place like Chennai or anywhere, if there is one Bengali restaurant that also works because there are less people in Bengali, but they also crave for that food. So how do you think this business is also creating the value because there is a whole like a space with a different culture, but still that business is like uh, uh, placing themselves in that culture with a uniqueness, but also profiting themselves.
So again, it depends on the population residing in the area as well. If a town has majority of vegan eating people, so therein if you come ahead with a restaurant which sell meat-based product, it will not work. So if you look in that way, it depends on the majority of the population residing in that particular area. If they prefer meat-based products, then a meat-based restaurant will prevail over there. But if majority of the population prefer vegan products, then vegan restaurants will reside over there. So it depends on the population as well.
So Chandra, that does that answer your question?
No, my question is like there are some minor people also for this minority also there are few businesses which really pop up and create a value, and sometimes it also changes the majority part of the people to try it. So that's how it create a value also. So what do you think about it?
I think that you only mentioned the answer. That is, they are providing that value by unique positioning. They are providing a different experience, a unique experience which was not already present in that area. So, because they are offering something that was not already there, so in that way, they are creating value.
So Chandra, does that answer
Yes.
your question?
Yes.
Any more follow-up questions? Team growth architects, any more follow-up questions?
I have a different question. So, there are a lot of companies in a specific industry. Do these companies present their value the same way or differently?
The
Can you please?
companies might be same, but the way that they operate, that differs. So, like their management, their operations, their business model, the frameworks on which they are operating. So, we might have many companies of the same type, but the way that they are working is something that is the value that they are creating.
Mariada, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Any more follow-up questions?
Yeah. So you guys mentioned that tradition is sometimes, not sometimes, tradition is more important than product. So will it work every time? So is it true for all situations?
I believe it is not true for all of the situations. If we take some cases, maybe the culture or the tradition will prevail the product because, in a way, the product is made accordingly to the traditions and culture of that particular area. If we have a lot of people who are Brahmins or who do not eat, non-veg products at all, so at that place, you will have to see the culture and tradition first and then think of a product that will prevail in that particular area or that particular market. So not in all conditions, but it is a factor which is considered.
Karthikeya, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more follow-up questions from Team Growth Architects?
I do have a question actually. So,
Yeah.
you said that Starbucks capture value by embedding itself into culture. But do you think its culture embedding happen naturally over time, or can a business design it from the start, or from the beginning?
So I think Starbucks basically come from a Western culture where the tradition is of the coffees and all the Western things they do. So the inculcation of this tradition in the Asian and the other parts of the world has been uh, came in picture when they have started marketing based on the needs and the based on the needs and what people want from them. So yeah.
Ananya, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah. Any more follow-up questions from Team Growth Architects?
I have one question that you said that Starbucks is somewhere around like it is somewhere around people's need, but as of I like my knowledge that Indians are not that much in coffee font before the Starbucks come, or before the a generation they are mostly a person of tea or something like that, and they are not used to having this kind of cafe and all of that. Whole culture was not introduced back in the traditional, as you said. So why it is becoming a need, and how it is creating the value for Starbucks? Because as you said, it is not our tradition, it is not our need. Then how Starbucks is creating the business value coming to a country which tradition is different, which needs are different, which peoples are different.
Okay, I
So
think we got
how?
your question. We got your question, Suchanda. Yeah, over to the answer box.
So I believe that it created value by understanding the taste and preferences of the customers, and the marketing strategies also helped in building the taste and customers and meeting the need of the customers. It did not start with a need, it made it a need for the customers as it sold premium products to the customers.
I don't think this answers
Suchan,
the question. A fact check. So Suchanda, India has been consuming coffee since 17th century, since a Sufi saint called Baba Budan smuggled 7 coffee beans from Yemen and planted them in Chikmagalur in Karnataka. Coffee culture grew a lot in South India initially. Later, Britishers commercialized coffee farming and introduced in South India, and it went all over the country. So the coffee market was pretty much there before Starbucks and the others entered. Fact check. Answer box will be nice if you can just open perplexity, right? When someone tells
Yeah,
something.
but is there a cafe culture also where people meet in gathering and have the coffee in a cafe?
Good question. Probably not. Back to answer box.
Like, because Starbucks introduced that only, like not like coffee which you are making in home, but it is present in a cafe in an ambience.
But Starbucks entered India much later, right? Let me get the facts. Cafe culture in India began well before Starbucks entered. The roots of cafe culture in India can be traced to early 20th century with the establishment of Indian coffee house chain. The first Indian coffee house branch was opened in 1936 in Bombay. Starbucks entered only in 2012. Before 2012 also, Cafe Coffee Day and all were there.
I feel Starbucks was a stage which marked the beginning of premium coffees, having those frappes and Western culture being introduced. I feel their position and their brand value was not having cafes or some coffees. It was how they positioned themselves as being premium and including the Western culture in it.
Okay. So answer box, what is the value that Starbucks really introduced then? Is it the coffee?
I think it is the experience that Starbucks is introducing, the value.
Along with
So how is
Because
the
experience
coffee
cafe
and
creating
culture
value?
and because cafe culture in coffee it existed, but Starbucks it introduced these the ambience, the luxury experience, the premium experience that you would want. Like in Starbucks, people also they don't just go there for
So
coffee.
how
They
is the
give.
luxury experience? Why is the luxury experience valuable?
I think people don't only go to Starbucks for coffee, but they also have that co-working space over there where they can also work, they can also chill and also have coffee. So this is the experience that.
Yeah, so somebody is going for a business meeting, somebody is going for a date, or somebody is going for any important conversation. And okay, when would you, for important conversations, when would you want a premium experience?
When the conversation is very important and we want an environment wherein we are able to gather and collect all of the thoughts and present it to the other person without any disturbances.
One, you don't want disturbance, and two, you want the other person to feel like you're taking them seriously. Let's say you're meeting an investor and you want to make a pitch, right? You're a startup, you might probably introduce them to a Starbucks because you want to create, take them to that atmosphere where you're showing that seriousness. Or you're meeting someone important and you want to show uh, that you're taking them to a special place. There again, you want to meet that person in a place where that seriousness is sort of created. So does this answer the value created by Starbucks?
Yes.
If I'm inviting someone or taking someone, again, it's creating that experience for them, right? It's about luxury experience and so on. Okay, great. So, moderator, can we move to the next team? I think it's already 8:58.
Yes. Uh, Growth architects can start your pitch, and before starting your pitch, please explain why you choose your name as growth architects, and you will have 3 minutes to pitch yourself.
Oh, 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. Our team is Growth Architects because architects create blueprints to guide the construction of buildings. So, our team creates frameworks, systems, and strategies that serve as blueprints for business growth. So, coming to the summary of our presentation, today we are diving into a deep exploration of business values, what it is, how we create it, deliver it, and capture it. Our focus will be on understanding how value isn't just a financial metric but something deeply contextual and essential for any business to track. Moving forward, value isn't just money, it's about how useful, appealing, or meaningful something that is to people. Steve Forbes says money is a measure of value,
Okay,
but value isn't
can we
same for
move
everyone.
ahead into your answer to question for discussion? Can you keep it moving ahead? Yeah.
Yeah. So people see extra value in brand experience and convenience. So businesses need to figure out how people perceive their value, not just count profits. Moving forward, so value can come from two places. It's about a product or service. Sometimes it's shaped by context, things like market trends or how consumer behave. So Uber gives different prices for different rides. Though the car is same, the value changes because of timing and need.
Okay, carry on.
Moving
You had
forward.
So
already explained
traditionally
this.
speaking, value creation is often thought of as creating utility, about how functional or practical a product or service is. But value also comes from the perception or design of the product. it's not just about the usefulness, it's also about how people say it. Like the value Apple created, it's not just about the iPhones and the extra
Got it. So
features.
Mariada, you can move on. You can move on. Got this, please. Yeah.
So, creating value is just not enough. It's also about how you deliver it. Like Amazon don't just sell products. The value is basically in how they deliver them fast and reliably, so that the consumers are getting the products on time, and that's how they are creating the
Got
value
it.
for
Go
the
on. Go on. Go
consumers.
on. Yeah.
Over to Suchanda.
So not every business that creates value manages to capture it. Value capture with securing a return and the value created. So how Spotify had a huge number of people in their access of millions of songs, but that was not giving them revenue. But when they change it into a subscription model, then the people who are enjoying the free free music, they are also there, but the paying customer also helping them to generate the revenue. Moving forward, what is considered as a value is one culture may not be reviewed the same way in another. So for example, McDonald's is not like is always change their menu according to the country. If they change in the country, they change their spices and all of that stuff to
Understood. Can we move on? Yeah.
moving forward. So as value is shaped by context and perceived and capture, leaders and teams must constantly question and challenge their assumption and monitor shifts in marketing perception and ensure that the value they are creating continues to remain meaningful and to their customer requirement. Yeah.
Understood. Carry on.
Thank you, growth
Thank you.
architects. Now over to perception builders for their questions.
So you talked about Uber's experience that they change prices, but still people prefer them. So what is the value that they are creating that people choose them again and again, even when the prices have increased?
Yeah. So Uber provides different prices. Now, example, current newly they have added one thing. So for non-AC they have a separate price. For AC they have separate price. So the price depends on the requirement of the customer. So the more
I don't,
price they
I don't think that answers the question. Back to you, Yoshika. Does that answer your question?
So why do you believe that people still choose them over Ola and other such platforms, even if they have higher prices?
Wait, was
so
that your question?
yeah. So
No, your question
maybe
was even when the prices are changing, why are people still seeing value, right? Sometimes the price may be 500, sometimes the price may be 200, 300 for the same vehicle based on the time. So why are people still seeing value if the price is fluctuating based on the timing?
yeah, so the main thing would be the booking would be easy, and there's chance that they'll be coming on time. So that's one thing they provide, and they have a good customer service. So if there's any
No,
issue,
no, I mean, I got, let's say today I booked the cab, I got it for 300.
okay,
Same kind of vehicle, tomorrow it's asking me 500. Why am I still seeing value if it's asking me 500 for what I paid 300 yesterday? That's a question.
maybe because of the service it could provide, and maybe the price would have increased due to so many external factors.
What service?
Yeah.
Correct. So then I should feel they're overpricing. Why will I feel that value? According to me, the value of getting a ride over there is 300. But today you're pricing me at 500. So I'll feel overpriced. Why will I feel that 300 value?
It can be because of the different factors that the price could have gone up.
All of that is fine. But why will I feel that value? According to me, the value of you dropping me there is 300 rupees value.
It
But
could
today you're
create,
saying due to whatever reason, you charge
yeah,
me 500. Yeah.
like it has created a brand. Like Uber has created a brand,
All
and
of that is fine. But why is it? Why am I feeling more value? I should feel like you're overpricing me. You're charging me 200 rupees extra.
Because you
My
don't
value
have
is
any
only
other
300 rupees for
option.
dropping me there.
It
Be-
depends on when you. Yeah, sorry, Mariana, you can continue.
Because you don't have any other option. You have to reach to this place at this time, and you only have Uber as an option to take you there.
Fantastic. So then are you telling me that on day one I was valuing it at 500, but you still gave it to me for 300? So you left revenue on the table.
Uber changes price based on a lot of factors. Like if it's a busy day, they will
I'm
increase
not
their
talking of
price.
pricing, I'm talking of value. I'm not talking of pricing, I'm talking of value. Value that I as a customer perceive.
Yes, value gets differentiated based on external factors like Kartikeya mentioned. If there's an emergency, if you don't have any other options. Uh,
Okay,
so
what if I perceive the value to be only 300? Today I'm trying to travel and I think 500 is too much. Then what would I do? I don't see value in getting a cab and I don't see 500 rupees worth value. According to me, it's worth only 300 rupees.
if you'd have any other option, you'd choose that option. But again, the
Or maybe
500,
cancel the travel.
correct.
Or maybe cancel the travel. But if I have to go, then probably I see value because this is the only guy who's able to take me there.
Correct. And we, before booking an Uber, we compare it to other platforms. Like if Ola is available, Ola Cab or some other taxi or local auto is available.
And
So
what if
when
I don't see value? Would Uber have the risk of losing me? If I don't see value, would Uber have the risk of losing me as a customer?
uh, not in the long term, just for that particular ride, because we'll always be looking for um, journeys to be able to be convenient.
There is one more point. I think the matter of safety is bring to Uber. I think there are some cams which can record like the person's safety also matters. So that's why also people choose Uber more than some local vehicle in like most of the places, because nowadays safety is also a concern. So that's why maybe the charges, if varies also, sometimes people prefer Uber because of the safety purposes.
Okay.
Follow-up question to this. Like sometimes, if we are considering Uber only, we take auto and the cab prices. Sometimes the auto price is higher than the cab price, but still we go with the auto. So, what is the ideology behind that? That people still prefer auto over that cab?
Most of the times, it's people who are not aware of how to um, use that Uber app. So let's say I'm on a railway station. There's an auto there. I'm not aware if there's an Uber available on this area. So I'll just book an auto because that auto driver is pestering me to book the auto. So I'm like, okay, it's a 100 rupee ride. I'll just book it rather
No,
than
our
going on
question is
Uber
on the
app.
app. Our question is on the app. If you were to show me auto for 300 and cab for 200, why would some consumer choose the auto at all?
On the app
It's a good
itself
question. I don't think I
for
have
both
answered.
Yeah,
Uber and
because maybe sometimes it happens the Uber needs some time, like 20 minutes or 15 minutes to came arrive, and the auto is present there. So if that person is in hurry, so that person will choose, okay, this is convenient more, so choose the auto and let's go and do my task. So
Correct. Yeah,
yeah.
auto usually comes faster, and in certain routes, autos are faster than cabs because they can maneuver through the roads and get through. Oh, but that was a really interesting question.
Any other question from team perception builder?
Okay, I think we can conclude here. So it will be nice to take some reflections, couple of reflections, whoever wants to go in.
I'd like to go first. So, talking about value creation. So, we all create value in some or the other way, but knowing exactly what is value is very essential for creating a particular value. If you're not even aware of the value, what value actually is, so we don't have a correct definition of what value creation it actually is. So I got a just about what exactly is value creation, value delivery, value capture, all of the value terms. So it really helped me understand everything in a depth manner.
Okay, thank you, Yashita.
I think value creation is what our customers perceive of that value. Customer perception is very important when we are thinking about value creation. So, like for someone, value creation can be the perception of need. For someone, it can be convenience. For someone, it can be the experience. So that perception we have to take, like we have to keep in mind when we are creating value.
Okay.
So I want to do reflection. So what I think is sometimes for businesses also there is a futuristic thought. Ki right now is that is in not a need for a person, but in future make a habit of getting into their nerves to make it as a need. So that's how maybe most of the companies also now build their business values, because it is becoming their needs. But back then when they started, that was not a need what I understood. So it is sometimes like change with the time. So having a futuristic thought is also very important
Hello,
in
ma'am. I lost
business value.
you. Actually, I
Yeah. Who's going in next? So that's a nice reflection by Suchanda, that some businesses are very futuristic, right? Even though that value is not seen today by the market, they understand that in the future it will
sir,
get created and they're planning before. Yeah.
sir, sorry to interrupt. I got accidentally got into the main and left.
No, no, we pulled everybody here. We
Okay.
collapsed all the break. Yeah, who's going next to the reflection from the ST?
I can go in next. So one thing I learned from this SD is that value is not just about creating it through some product or service, and not just about delivering it. It's also to be able to capture it in terms of revenue or customer loyalty. And I believe that's the most difficult part, to be able, we can make people like our product, like our services, but for them to be able to have the willingness to pay those means that they have to opt for the product or services, have the value capture. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. I think the trickiest part is there, right? There's a lot of great products, new products that are built. People start using them, people start liking them, but the real challenge is, would somebody be willing to pay for it? That's value capture. Yeah. Anybody else going with the reflection?
Yeah, so I
People
would.
from the Meta ST would have discussed some interesting ideas. It'll be good for you to go in as well. Who wants to go in?
So yes, in our breakout room, we discussed about Uber, because Uber is something creating that business value. It offers more security than any local vehicles who want to travel night. I think that's the business value that it is creating. And also about the Starbucks, when we have some important meetings and if we want to go for important conversations, we prefer Starbucks and all. So I think different businesses have different values that they are creating. So I think the value creation definitely matters. Then only we can enter from that red ocean to blue ocean. Yeah, this we have discussed in our breakout room.
Thank you, Jairaj.
Yeah, so from today's SD, what I've learned that like customers are willing to pay more and and return again when they can truly experience the value. For example, uh, there is a like part which we discuss on the SD, that value comes from the preference and the like experience that business can provide. So to create a real value, the business must need to do a proper RCA, like to understand that how their ideal customer like actually perceive it. So like that's where the I think the unique positioning can comes in. For example, there is a like a example we have discussed regarding the Starbucks. So yeah, that's what I learned.
Yeah. So I would want to, conclude this with three very fundamental ideas. The first idea for a business is value creation. That is, I take some ingredients, I take some raw materials, and I transform them into something nice that people are willing to pay for, right? So forget about pay for. I transform that into something nice that people will consider precious, right? So let's say you take watermelon, you cut it, you make it into pieces and give it to people. People find that to be precious. You take bamboo sticks, you make that into a chair and give that bamboo chair is precious. So that is value creation. You're transforming the raw material so that it's more precious to people, right? And the difference between great economies and average economies is that, right? So if you think about it, Jharkhand has a lot of natural resources, but Jharkhand is a poor state because Jharkhand is failing with value creation, right? Taking that raw material and natural resources and transforming it into something useful. Or think about it. Let's say you're in the state of Kerala. You produce a lot of jackfruit, right? Or you produce a lot of bananas. You convert that jackfruit into chips. You convert that banana into chips and sell it across the country. That produces more income, right? Or you're Himachal Pradesh. You're producing a lot of apples. You convert that apple into jam and sell. Will apple sell for more price or jam sell for more price?
Jam sell for more price.
Right? Those are value added products. So we're creating value, right? So that's why India is an agricultural country, right? A large part of Indian economy is built through agriculture. Now, if Indian economy has to grow, what is the most important thing? Agribusiness, right? So, agricultural products you take, you add value and you start marketing them. But what is happening due to lack of education and due to lack of awareness? People are trying to sell only the raw material. But what is the problem with raw material business? It doesn't
They are not
pay much. Put more effort, create that value, and what the market wants, go sell that, right? Rather than just the raw material. Higher margins are, for the business that is consumer facing. Lot of people were saying, India mein manufacturing karo, India mein manufacturing karo. Rajiv Bajaj was saying, what bullshit are you talking? The higher margins of people are, who's a brand who's facing the consumer. Chinese are making the automobile parts and giving to Bajaj. But at the end of the day, higher margin is not with the Chinese who's giving the automobile part. No. Higher margin is with the fellow who's selling the bike to the consumer. Why are the margins more with the brand? Because that is where the value creation is the highest. No, the consumer is able to get the utility out of it or the experience out of it. So what is the first fundamental concept? It is value creation. Second level, I would say, is about how you do the marketing. How do you make the market actually see that value? You've created value, right? You've come up with a process or you've come up with a product or you've come up with something. But if you're not able to make the world see that value, what happens?
They are not able to know.
Now, this is very important because sliced bread, right? Yeah. Yeah. You guys know sliced bread, right? You eat sliced bread, that packet, bread in slices. It took 30 years for sliced bread to spread across the world. Would you believe it? 30 years to spread across the world. People initially didn't want it. You may create value, but the world has to see that value, right? So the second part is how do you get the world to see the value? Whatever value you created, how do you get them to see it? And the third part is fantastic. People are clapping. People are saying it's very good. But what is not happening? Suchanda was talking about it. What is not happening? People actually
Paying for it.
Exactly. That's value capture. And Vibhor, on day one, you don't think of value capture. Day one, what you'll do is, chalo, you'll do some sampling. Chalo, to a few people I'll give for free. Let them experience it. I want to see whether they're finding it valuable or not. Once I have cracked it, that's when I start focusing on value capture. Because I first want some beta users who can give me some feedback, understand whether what I'm doing is making sense or not. But once you get there, eventually you've got to get people to pay a fair price for it. But if I'm not able to command a fair price, it means my value capture is weak. If value capture is weak, it's very difficult to sustain the business. And a great example for value capture is Apple. Apple makes a 25% margin on every device, as opposed to a HP or a Dell, which makes a 5 to 6.5% margin on every computer they sell. You understand the difference? How much do HP and Dell make?
6.5.
5 to 6.5% margin. Apple?
25%.
What data I'm giving you is like 10, 15 years old, but I'm assuming even now it will be something similar. But and why does Apple command a higher margin? Their value capture is strong. Why is it very strong?
Due to marketing, good marketing schemes.
They know their product very well.
That's what a lot of amateurs think, that it's great marketing.
They know that their product has a performance that no other product can give. Like the convenience and the performance they give through a mobile is
Performance and the user experience.
user experience, right? User experience.
A
Quality
lot
of
of
the
people who use a Mac will never change from a Mac to anything else, because the little things in the Mac user experience, right? They're just so good because of the detail they go into, right? They've got great design teams. So they've created a very premium experience, and right from the beginning, Steve Jobs always positioned that professionals use the Mac because they need the best. He said, if Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and all of these people were alive, they would have used only the Mac, nothing else. That was the ad, that was the marketing he did. Right? Pratik called it marketing, but I believe it's not just marketing. It's about crafting that product to such a good extent that you got that consumer love, right? Consumers just want it, and eventually, the PMF has gone to such a high level that it's become social status. People want to flaunt that I have a Mac, social status. But that social status you could reach there because the product is so strong. So they were really able to capture that value because the consumer feels that value, and the consumer feels it, and the consumer wants it so much that they're able to go and ask a higher price. See, what is value capture? In a simple way, if I have to talk of value capture, right? I'm creating a product. Suchanda feels that it's worth 100 rupees. Now, if Suchanda feels I can bargain with Tarun, she'll take it for 25 rupees. You understood what I mean, right? She is feeling that it is worth 100 and I'm able to make only 25. Matlab, I did 25% capture. But let us say I go to Jairaj. He feels it's worth 100 and he's able to pay me 50. Chalo, 50% I could capture back. Whatever value created, itna मैं capture कर पाया. So value capture is very important because if you make the consumer feel like I want it and the consumer respects that pricing, you're able to command that pricing. That leads to greater margins and a healthier business. And I think in conclusion, all I'll say is all the parameters that people spoke of are very important because value is purely perception based. There's no science, there's no logic for it, right? It's how people perceive it. You just observe and study. You don't have rules which predict. You just observe and study through high velocity testing, right? So it's very important to observe and understand.
There's a question in my mind. Like, if we bargain, are we really bargaining? Because why will someone sell a product to us at a lower price? If he's thinking of the value capture as well. So why are we sold that product at a lower price after bargaining? So are we really bargaining, or the profit margin, they have some margin when they tell us the price of the product?
No, sometimes people sell for a loss also, no? Okay, let's take a simple example. Let us say I'm a guy who's selling chicken, some biryani or something, right? And a lot of biryani is left out today. I come and make an offer that I will buy 4 kg. The guy might think instead of throwing it, let me give it, let me make some money, right? Sometimes, so a lot of times the negotiations purely go on based on the leverage that we have, right? Do I have a leverage to squeeze the deal? Yeah. It was a very interesting discussion, and I hope we continue to think of value because I think, what value our work is going to create and whether it will help the company get that leverage to capture that value, I think is super important, right? Have a great weekend, all of you. Thank you for joining in today's team.
Tarun, actually, I have a question. Is it all right if
Sure,
I
please
ask?
go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
please go ahead.
towards the end, you discussed
Yeah,
about
others can drop off. 1 minute. Huh? Those who don't
yeah,
have questions can drop off. If you have any questions, I'm happy to talk. Yeah. Yeah, Nandini, please go ahead.
yeah, as you said, like businesses, how they can like create value, like they have like three parameters: value creation, marketing, so that the customers can see the value they have